ready to share my ayahuasca experience. It's been like 2 months almost since I was in Peru in the Amazonian jungle. I was there for a week. I drank 5 times. I've been back for a while now and I just had so much to process. So the integration part has been like, it's been exciting but also like very bumpy, I would say. But I would start with to share how it actually started, because I was traveling back and forth over the world and I had different places where I met some people, and random people kept bumping into me and like starting to talk about ayahuasca randomly, and I was like, are you what? And this kept on happening and I kind of I didn't really listen, you know, and I'm guessing the universe was like, hey Michael, you should look at this, and I was like pushing it away. I didn't really care, and it just kept on going. Like people could call me like, you should watch the documentary, and then that was about ayahuasca. It came up in my phone, on my computer. I got emails. People talked about it. It was just like, it was weird. So in the end, I had this store where I live, and a guy comes into my store. And he says, you have changed. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Because I wanted to change. I want to be a better person. And he said, what have you done? And I said, well, I've been traveling there and I've done this. And he's like, no, there's something with you. Because we couldn't talk before and we couldn't get contact. And I was like, yeah, probably something changed. So we started talking about like crystals and stuff like that. We kept on going with that. And then I asked him, what do you do? And he said, oh, I'm a shaman. I'm into shamanism. And I was like, okay. My little hometown, like in the center, it's like 14,000 people. A guy comes in Sweden and says he's a shaman. And he says also, and I ask, what do you do when you're a shaman? He says, oh, I do ayahuasca. And I was like, all right, here we go. Universe was like pushing me. Now someone is actually physically in front of me and says, you should try. And then he smiled. So I was like, fuck, this is really intense. And I was like, I need to look this up. What it is. So I actually called one of the guys that I met from Brazil. And I said, do you have some place where I could like go and do ayahuasca? He said, yeah, I got this place in Brazil, you can go there. I contacted them, I booked it, and like it felt like 100% good. A couple of days later, I found another place in Peru, because Peru has been coming up for me. And I was like, so it was like 10 times more expensive, but I was like, expensive, I'm gonna travel. And then I was going to Florida. So I went to Florida and then I went to Peru. So it was like synchronizing with the dates and everything. It was crazy. So I booked that place. I came there 2 days before. I got sick. I got fever and I was like, my throat is hurting. I got a cough. My ear is hurting. A headache. I got nose blocked and all the symptoms. And I was like, this is weird. So I met a girl at the airport when we were going into the jungle. And for some reason, I was like, do you want to share a cab? And she's like, yeah, sure, why not? And we ended up in a cab. I said to her, what are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to do ayahuasca. And I was like, okay. And I told her that, oh, I'm getting sick. I'm going to do ayahuasca too. And she's like, no, you're going to be fine. The ayahuasca is working for you like 1 week before you go there. So that's why this is happening. And I was like, how could that be? How could that even be? So I went to our place where we're gonna do the ayahuasca, and I asked the shaman, like, I had all the symptoms on the same time, like really bad. And he's like, yeah, the ayahuasca is working in your body and preparing you for what's coming. And I was like, holy fuck, you're saying the same thing? That was just, for me, like, kind of weird. So I 5 times during a period of 7 days in the jungle. It's like deep in the jungle. We have to take a flight and then take a bus and then take a ride and then go straight out. First day, we just came there early in the morning. And the first day they say, we're gonna have an introduction. And I was like, we're gonna measure and see how much your body will handle. And I was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna have a small piece or something. I'm a bit nervous and I'm scared at the same time because I have no idea what's coming up. Like I have no idea. I have all these fears. There was fears that I was gonna lose my drive or my passion, or like I'm gonna lose stuff and gonna be meditating in a jungle somewhere for the rest of my life. But that's just like fears based from the head. So it's just bullshit. Not gonna happen. I take this first shot the first day, and the shaman tells me, Michael, because I told him about the story. I told him about the story that it has been following me. He says, now you're gonna know why you're in the jungle. So I was like, okay, cool. Take the shot. I taste it, and it's like the most awful taste that I can't even put words on how disgusting it was. Like, I don't even know what the taste is because I have not found any word for it. I don't know, like I can't, it's just disgusting. I take the shot, I sit down in like a swing chair, whatever that was, and I tell myself, whatever I need to know, whatever I need to learn, whatever I need to see, whatever comes up, I'm ready for it. Like, I'm 100% ready. Give me, I'm pain, pleasure, fear, guilt, shame, hate, love, whatever it comes up, I'm ready for it. Like, let's fucking rock. I spent a lot of money, time, I flew to the other side of Earth, in the jungle. There must be a reason why I'm in the jungle and doing this. So I was surrendering to it, and I was like, show me, and I'm gonna look. I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna sit here. And it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, max. Not even that. A lot of fractals start to come up. Like, if you don't know what fractals is, Google fractals. It comes up, the most colorful colors and weirdest shapes came up and start going like this in front of me, and it just goes fast. The intensity of what I heard was like I can hear everything. Like I can hear everything at the same time. It was crazy. Like it was like I got massive ears or something. I was tired. I sat there. I didn't want to move at all. I closed my eyes, and it was completely pitch black. It was so dark that I never been to a place where there's such a darkness. It's experience just to be there. It started off, and then a voice comes up in my head. You have your own voice, your own ego is discussing with itself, like, oh, it's answering and questioning questions, and you talk to yourself. You can control this voice in a way, somehow anyway. But this voice, there's another voice coming up in your head, and you can't control this. And this voice feels like an entity, like there's someone more wiser than you that knows everything about you, and it also feels like it's feminine, like a mother, like someone that want to care for you, like lovingly, emotionally, just like will be there for you, but also like wants the best for you, like really the best for you. That's why I say that DMT as the active substance in this is not, my hallucination is not a drug. It's something with more intelligence to it, and I don't even know what it is, but it's something that wants the best for you. That's my vision and my like hallucination of it. So I lay down there, and she's like, hi, started talking with me, and I was surrendering, so I was like, is this talking to me? I was like, hey. She's like, we got a lot of things to do, but I just want to start with telling you one thing. And I was like, okay, sure, because I was like, yeah, whatever. Every symptom that you have, ears, throat, coughing, fever, and all of these symptoms also disappeared, completely disappeared when I drank the ayahuasca. During the time I was on ayahuasca, I had no symptoms whatsoever. It was completely gone. She said, symptoms on your body, like nose or whatever that can be, like throat, is connected to emotions in your body. So, and why you have symptoms is because you're suppressing emotions, and the body wants to let it go. It wants to get rid of it. So it's a message for you to understand that you're suppressing something and you need to let go of it. So she's like, why you get all the symptoms at the same time is because we're stirring around all these emotions in your body and we're preparing you. And I was like, holy shit, is this true? And I was like, yeah, that's how it works. If you believe it or not, it's up to you. But this was what the ayahuasca was telling me. Or like, I've been thinking as well, is it ayahuasca or is it my higher self? Like, is it me talking to me? I don't know. But one thing that I know for sure is that one of the voices that came into my head, I couldn't control it. Like, it was impossible. I could not control it. And that voice knew every single thing about me that I needed to learn. It was a teacher to me. The only thing I got was teachings. Like, a lot of people in that room got pain. Like, a lot of dark places and pain. I had no pain whatsoever. Like, it was beautiful. I loved it. So, and then she says, Michael, we're gonna start on working on some of your behaviors that you're doing towards yourself and other people. And I was like, sure, whatever. So I just, I'm surrendering, right? I'm surrendering. So she tells me that I don't feel worthy of, for example, of love or like worthiness, not loving myself enough, I should say, not speaking my truth, care about what other people, and putting people on pedestals. It was like, those were the few like very strong behaviors that I had that was like ruining my life and was not taking me to the next level. Like these stuff, she said, these things, you cannot have these behaviors because what you're supposed to do over here is so fucking huge. So these stuff, they just collide. And today it stops, like completely stops. And I was like, sure. So she showed me one behavior after the other during this first day. And she showed me like, she gave me a feeling of how much pain it cost to me if I continue doing it. For example, not speaking my truth like I do now. This is speaking my truth. When you're not speaking your truth and I had a resistance inside of me. I wanted to speak, but I cared too much about what other people thought. So it was a resistance inside of me, and that resistance is energy, and that gets stuck in your body, and it's causing actually in the end diseases to my body. So it gave me the feeling of pain. She showed me, because I was closing my eyes, she was showing me what happened, like in a movie. She showed me behaviors that I did towards me and other people. I could see, hear, touch, and smell. It was so real. It was like in a dream. But I was awake at the same time. I was very alert and I knew exactly what happened. But it was like in a dream. It was like it was happening. So I actually felt and experienced the pain that was causing me. So she said, you do this and it hurts you and you don't want to do it. And I was like a bit groggy and I was like, no, I don't want to do it. So I was like that. And she said, you don't want it. I was like, no, I don't want it. Okay, good, she said. Awesome, because we're gonna purge and puke this shit out. And I was like, oh, what? Yes, we're gonna puke it out. And I was like, okay. So for every behavior I had, she did the same. And then when she said, are you ready? And I was like, what? I was born ready. I got a feeling from here, down here, like deeply, of like, I wanted to like, bleh, I wanted to puke. I was like, bleh. I started to do this, and it just became more and more. And the Icaros that they're doing, they have these things, they're making sounds, and they're whistling, like stuff like that. They were just like, the energy of that just become more. So the higher the energy with the whistling was, the more of my puking that came out. And I was like, what? And I was puking. She's like, way, good Michael, good way. And she was like cheering me on. It was pretty cool. And after, I didn't feel sick as when you're sick. I just had that thing, and nothing really came out except, like she said, it's energy that is leaving your body, and you need to let go of it. And this is how we do it. And I was like, awesome, perfect, love it. I don't want to do this shit anymore anyway. So we did that for a lot of hours. After every time I did that, I just felt a very light, like super ultra light. It was like, no, I liked it actually. I really liked it. I enjoyed it, even though it was hard. One thing that happened during this, like when it was most intense, I sat like this. I don't know if you can see, but I had my hands on my legs. And it's so dark. So I was like, I didn't know if I had my hands on my body even. It was crazy. I had my hand, but I could feel the hand on my leg. And the hand started to move. I don't know if you can see, but it started to move like this. And she said, Michael, I just wanted to let you know that I'm here. And I've always been here, and I will always be with you. And I was like, okay. Kind of, I was groggy, and I was like, puking at the same time. She's like, Michael, I know that you like, when it's rough, I know that you like that someone is there and you have physical touch. And I'm the proof now, because I was not moving my arm. Like I was not putting intentions of moving my arm, and my arm was like, it was someone else's arm and it was moving. It was weird as fuck. But it was happening. And she's like, I just want to let you know that I'm here and I'm going to support you, and you're doing a great job and you're amazing. I love you, Michael. You've always been loved, and you will always been going to be loved. There is so much love in you, and I was the one that brought you here. And I'm the one that going to look after you. And I was like, wow. I was like, it felt so nice when she said it. Like, so nice. And I was like confident. I was like, okay, let's fucking go. When I heard that, I felt that, let's do more, because I know that I felt that someone was there with me. And even though there was a lot of people around me, that inner thing talking to me, like, it was beautiful. So she was moving the hand like that, and it felt really good. And another thing that happened the first night, it was like very beautiful. So the story goes like this. No, same day I was going to out in the jungle. I'm flying from Lima out in the jungle. I'm having Tinder. I was Tindering with a girl, and we were meeting up at breakfast. So I said, let's go and have a breakfast, just like breakfast. And she's like, yeah, I'm glad to come. And I was like, okay, cool. That doesn't happen in Sweden, what I know of. But she's like, I'm cool. And we meet. First, when I see her at the door at my Airbnb, she's like so beautiful. I was like, holy shit, that girl, like, you can be hot and you can be beautiful. It's different. Like, she was amazingly beautiful. And I looked at her, I was like, wow, 10 points. That was like the first thing. Good job, Michael. Like that. But when we started talk, she cannot talk English. And I was like, what the fuck? She can't speak English? So we started to walk towards the breakfast place. And I have a few hours before I'm gonna fly out in the jungle. And I started talking with her, and she's like, she can understand what I'm saying, but she can't really speak. We go to the breakfast place and we sit, and I was like, have what you want. And I was like, it's on me. And I'll take something, she takes something, and then we're gonna start translating with the phone. We're gonna start translating, and after a while, like 20 minutes or something, I was like, I'm getting bored out of my mind to translate, because usually I'm the one that talks a lot. So I just sit there and I just watch her. I was like, I sat like, I don't know, something like this, and I just like started to look at her, because she was so beautiful, like, she amazingly beautiful. And I looked at her, and she's like, Michael, she was like, hey, what are you looking at? And I was like, I'm looking at you, because you are the most beautiful living being I ever seen. And she's like, oh, thank you very much, like, very feminine, like, beautiful. She was so pure. So the time goes, we eat, I fly out in the jungle. The first day I drink. She said like this, Michael, do you know why you met this girl that you met? And I was like, no. I send her to you so you can see the beauty inside of all living beings, but a lot of feminine girls. You will have to see their inner beauty, because every girl has that inner beauty that you need to see. You have to, because you talk so much, so you don't see it. And I was like, oh shit, that's why. She said, you're gonna treat women like you treat her. And you're gonna look at them as you look at her. And I was like, wow. And then she also said, why you saw the beauty as you did is because she had no expectations on how you're supposed to be. She had no rules about how a date or a relationship or like whatever should be. She had no judgment of you. She was so pure. And she said that when you have expectations and rules on a girl or a boy or whatever in a relationship, or expectations any like in life, you can feel this inner resistance that you don't want to give, because I felt that I wanted to give my kind of life to her. I was like, she's so pure and she doesn't like want to control me in any aspect, and that exactly what I want. Like I found out that that is the thing that you want. You don't want that. As soon as control comes in, like you're done. You're doomed to actually fail the relationship. It was an eye-opener for me, because I've been into a relationship for many years, and we both like wanted to like control each other, and that just doesn't work. But it's interesting. So she said like this: you have to put, if you need, you can put her face on every single woman that you meet, because you're gonna help a lot of women in your life, and some of them are not gonna be as attractive as you for your like taste. So, but you have to see their inner beauty, because every girl and every guy has it. But you gotta see through. You gotta see through them. And you gotta see what's actually on the inside, because it's what's on the inside that counts. That's actually what's gonna make you wanna feel. And I had also another, like, I have so much, but I'm gonna take the stuff that just comes up. I have another thing. There was a girl lying next to me, and this is connected to this. So I was laying there, and I heard this girl next to me, her head was like next to mine, and she was like moaning, like when you're having sex. She was like, oh, you know that thing, and like very feminine. And I was like, the ayahuasca told me like this, Michael, can you hear that? And I was like, fuck yeah, I can hear that. She's like, what do you feel? I said, now I'm talking to the ayahuasca, the other voice. I said, I feel that I wanted to protect. I wanna make her feel safe. I wanna do everything for her. And this is in the moment when I'm in the ayahuasca ceremony, I lay next to her. I got all of these emotions. And I feel that I just want to hug her, want to kiss her, want to make love to her, want to do stuff for her. And she said, like, this is what you're gonna, when you feel this in life, then you know you met the right girl. Then you know that the girl is like pure, authentic, don't want to control, no rules, and no judgment of you. And that feeling, like, it was... wow, it was so cool. So when you like, the ayahuasca is giving you something to look for in real life. So you have the experience already before you have it in the real life. So you know exactly what you want and don't want. It's very powerful. She also says that, like, Michael, you never, from this day on, you will never, ever, ever need to care about money again. Like, it's always gonna come to you in abundance. And I was like, thank you. And when she said that, like, there was something that kind of dropped inside of me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. Because I've been like in a scarcity mode about money, because I made money. I made kind of a lot of money, but even if I made a lot of money, and I was working very hard to do it, like, it was always a feeling of not having enough. You know what I mean? And now I don't have to rush it. I don't need to run after it. I know it's gonna come to me because of the person that I am and what I do and what I stand for, my values, beliefs, and what I want to do in life. What I can contribute with and what value I will give to people. She's like, you're gonna have enough. You don't ever need to care about it again. And when you get that feeling inside of you, like, you can just breathe. And I will always say like this, my experience is not gonna be the same as yours. You're gonna have something else. So, and she also said that, Michael, you cannot force anyone to do this, but you can share your story. Share what happened and share everything, but the rest I will take care of. And I was like, okay, fine. Because as I said in the beginning, there was a calling to me. It took me a year to understand and go there. And I'm forever grateful. Even if it cost me a lot of money, I'm forever grateful that I went there. Like, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go maybe next year, I don't know, we'll see. One thing that I was like, that was really important also, it was like, she showed me, she said, Michael, you need to find inner peace. Like inner peace within yourself. Because you're always so busy, and I'm still working on this. But she gave me a feeling where I sat and I just had massive amount of inner peace. There was no stress, no rush to do anything, and I was like completely calm. I saw myself sitting on like somewhere in Lima on top of like some mountain or something, and she showed me a brain, and there was like fingers on the brain like this, and she said like your brain is like working all the time and trying to do stuff just because it wanna feel a feeling. It wants the feeling, keeping itself busy all the time. You gotta find inner peace, and when you do that, you can just execute on the stuff that you wanna execute on, and you're not gonna run around and be stressful. And I'm gonna say I'm still working on this. I meditate like daily. I sit like to this night right now. I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do something. My brain is going like massively like this. And I think we're a lot of people out there, and the brain is like all these thoughts everywhere. Finding inner peace. She gave me the feeling of inner peace, and it was completely it was like almost like the feeling of having sex. When you're having sex and you're like, you know that? In the end, almost like that. It was pretty beautiful. I sat there and I was like, I relaxed. It was a very nice. So inner peace she taught me as well. And then I asked about my next relationship. And I thought that I was going to see like people, who he was, what we're gonna do and stuff like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So she gave me a feeling of tremendous amount of love, like right in my chest. That feeling of love, it was like, she said, Michael, you with your next girlfriend, you're gonna feel this. And it's like, boom, it hit me. And I was like, like that. It was like a shock of massive amount of love. And I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be in a like relationship with someone that is on the same path, and you have the same values, you want to do the same stuff and all that, and you really feel love for them. And I was like, man, I want this, thank you very much. And so now I also know what to aim for. So the ayahuasca is giving you stuff to you for you experience before it happened, in my case. So I know what to look for in life. I know what I've been through and what I don't want. And it's very clear. Stuff that I don't want in my life. For example, control. Not going into my life. Control, it just destroys everything in life. It's very, very powerful to let go of control. So now when you know all of this stuff, like it's very easy to go out there and you know what you're looking for. So I have tons of stuff, but the video is gonna be just too long. I may be sharing another video, but the ayahuasca for me, I'm telling you, it changed my life. You see all these other people, they're talking about the change in their life. Now I know what they're talking about. It's hard to explain the whole situation because it takes you to another dimension. Like it takes you somewhere else. And it allows you to experience stuff before they happen. It opened up things that I never thought was possible, and I'm really excited to see what actually is going to happen for my future. Like, I'm super excited what could happen in my life. I'm really grateful for that, and I was like, thank you for that calling, but I believe there is a calling to it. If you go there unprepared and you don't have the calling, I think it's going to be a fucking nightmare. That's my hallucination. And when you have the calling, yes, follow it. Do it. Go there. Even if you're scared, do it anyway. Like, follow it. If you have any questions about it, you let me know. I will answer as much as I can. Yeah, so this was my ayahuasca experience. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time.